This file is basically has a compilation of macros for time value of money financial calculations, TVM calculations, and I compiled them and created buttons for each of those macros or Visual Basic code blocks for things like calculating the future value or interest payment calculation, net present value calculation, or payments or period calculations or principal payment calculations. And for example, before we actually look at it, how they work, I want to get into the guts and do right click on one of these buttons here and click on the assign macro option, and I want to pick the function test. No, I'm sorry, the future value calculation, and go click on edit. And here is the first, this block here on top, starting with the sub future value calculation. This is actually the name of the function. The function name is being future value calc. And starting from here all the way down to this end sub, this code block is what drives that button that I was looking at on this page here. So, excuse me, I want to show how this button functions. I'm going to click on this, and it's going to give me that dialog box, and it will ask you how much do you plan to save each month. And I'm going to say, for instance, $500. I'm going to save $500 each month. I click OK. The next question is enter the expected interest annual percentage rate, and I'm assuming that I'm putting my money into 401k plan or IRA accounts or mutual funds for those accounts. I'm assuming 10% annual rate of return. And the next question is for how many months do you expect to save? I'm going to say 120 months. I'm going to save 10 years. I'm just thinking that, let's say I'm with this company 10 years and they'll be putting in $500 for me into a 401k account. Do you make payments at the end of the month? This makes a difference in the time value calculations, whether at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month. And I'm going to say yes. And the next question is how much in this savings account now? Let's say I got $5,000 in the account. Click OK. The answer is your savings will be worth $115,957.70 in 10 years, in 120 months. If I do save $500 each month, and assuming that 10% rate of return is there for the next 10 years. The other calculations, another one example I want to give you is payment calculation. Click on that. How much do you want to borrow? And I want to borrow, for instance, $20,000. Next question is, what is the annual percentage rate of your loan? I'm assuming that, for instance, a car loan, and for car loans, I'm going to say 6% interest rate. How many monthly payments will you make? That's going to be 60 monthly payments for 5 years. Do you make payments at the end of month? Yes. So your payment will be each month $386.66. So this is basically a kind of sample walkthrough using this Excel file, utilizing the Visual Basic for applications. So the screen that I was looking at here, I want to go back to it again. If I can go, keeps popping up. Never mind, I'm going to go from here. For that, go to developer option and Visual Basic. And here you see this is the Visual Basic screen, and I'm going to enlarge it a little bit. So on the right hand side, this white area is the editor, the VB editor. This is where actually the code is written. And the left hand side are two sections, and the bottom section is listing the objects. For instance, these are the tab names. Excel gives numbers for sheet names or worksheet names, and whatever the name you give it, for instance, like you can rename these sheets. but it still keeps track of those sheets as with sheet numbers, sheet 1, 2, 3, like that. And under the modules, right now this module is highlighted. This is the one I'm looking at. The other module, module number 2, has also a bunch of code in it. Like this one is a period sub is standing for sub procedure, and the name of the procedure is period, and this corresponds to the one of those buttons which says the period calculations. When I'm done with this, actually this what you're looking at here is a complete programming environment, programming or development platform using VBA, or Visual Basic for Applications, in Excel in this case. Visual Basic for Applications is a common programming language for all Office applications, not only for Excel, but it's all the other Office applications like Word, Access, Publisher, Outlook, all those. So this is, like I said, complete and exhaustive programming platform. So I want to get back to Excel. So I go to File, and here's the option Close and Return to Microsoft Excel, and that gets me back to the worksheet. So as you see, this is a kind of a sample tool which basically allows a user to calculate, like kind of a financial calculator, to calculate all those, time value of money. TVM is a finance name for these calculations. The name is TVM is because all these calculations are time sensitive or interest sensitive. That's the reason why it's called like that. That basically completes the walkthrough for this sample. Thank you.